Sudan is a country in northeastern Africa, bordered by Egypt to the north, the Red Sea to the northeast, Eritrea and Ethiopia to the east, South Sudan to the south, the Central African Republic to the southwest, Chad to the west, and Libya to the northwest. It is a country rich in history, culture, and natural resources, but has faced a number of challenges, including political instability, internal conflicts, and economic difficulties. Here's an overview of Sudan's history, politics, economy, and social and cultural aspects. 1. Geography and climate. Area. Sudan covers approximately 1.88 million square kilometers, making it the third largest country in Africa. Terrain. It has diverse landscapes, including deserts like the Sahara in the north, mountains, savannas, and the fertile Nile River Valley. Climate. Northern Sudan is mostly arid desert, while the southern region has a semi-arid to tropical climate. Rainfall is seasonal, typically heaviest in the south. 2. History. Ancient civilizations. Sudan has one of the oldest cultures in the world, with a history that dates back to ancient Nubia and the Kingdom of Kush circa 2000 BCE, a powerful ancient civilization closely linked with Egypt. Islamic influence. Arab traders introduced Islam in the 7th century, and it spread widely over the following centuries. Colonial era. In the 19th century, Sudan came under British-Egyptian rule. The Anglo-Egyptian administration governed Sudan jointly, but it was effectively controlled by the British. Independence. Sudan gained independence in 1956, but struggled with internal political instability and conflicts, particularly between the north, largely Arab and Muslim, and the south, with significant populations of Christians and followers of indigenous religions. 3. Political landscape. Civil wars and division. 2 prolonged civil wars, 1955 to 1972 and 1983 to 2005, were fought between the northern government and southern separatists, leading to the eventual secession of South Sudan in 2011. Authoritarian rule and conflicts. Omar al-Bashir came to power through a military coup in 1989, ruling Sudan for 30 years. His regime was marked by authoritarianism, internal repression, and conflicts, particularly in Darfur, where a brutal conflict led to international accusations of genocide. Transition to civilian government. Bashir was overthrown in 2019 after mass protests. A transitional government was established, aiming to lead Sudan to democratic elections. However, military coups and power struggles continue to threaten the country's stability, as evidenced by the military coup in 2021 and subsequent tensions. 4. Economy. Natural resources. Sudan is rich in natural resources, including oil, gold, and other minerals. Agriculture is also significant, with crops like cotton, peanuts, and sorghum. Oil and separation of South Sudan. Oil was a major revenue source until the secession of South Sudan, which held about 75% of Sudan's oil reserves. This loss significantly impacted Sudan's economy. Economic challenges. The country faces high inflation, food shortages, and debt. Sudan has been attempting economic reforms, including subsidy cuts and currency devaluation, to stabilize its economy and attract international aid. Sanctions and aid. Sudan was under U.S. sanctions for years, primarily due to its links to terrorist organizations. The sanctions were lifted in 2017, and in 2020 Sudan was removed from the U.S. list of state sponsors of terrorism, which opened up new opportunities for foreign aid and investment. 5. Culture and society. Ethnic diversity. Sudan has over 500 ethnic groups, with the largest being Arab-speaking Sudanese and others including the Fur, Beja, Nuba, and various Nilotic groups. Religion. Islam is the dominant religion, and it strongly influences Sudan's culture and legal system. There are also Christian and indigenous religious communities, mainly in the Nuba Mountains and in parts of the south. Languages. Arabic is the official language, with English also widely spoken. Many Sudanese also speak regional languages and dialects. Arts and literature. Sudanese culture has a rich tradition of poetry, literature, and music. Folk dances, storytelling, and Islamic art forms are integral to the cultural life, as are traditional crafts like pottery and weaving. 6. Recent issues and conflicts. Darfur conflict. Beginning in 2003, the Darfur region saw a conflict between government forces and ethnic rebels. The conflict led to mass displacement and casualties, and was labeled by some as genocide. Humanitarian crisis. Ongoing conflicts, including recent clashes between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces (RSF), have caused a severe humanitarian crisis. Millions are displaced. facing limited access to food, water, and healthcare. Peace efforts. Various peace agreements have been attempted, but lasting peace remains elusive. The 2020 Juba Peace Agreement sought to end conflicts in Darfur, South Kordofan, and Blue Nile states, but implementation has been challenging. 7. International relations. Regional dynamics. Sudan's geopolitical position makes it influential in African and Arab regions, sharing concerns over issues like the Nile water rights with Egypt and Ethiopia. Relations with the West. Relations with the United States and European Union improved following the 2019 revolution and subsequent transitional government. However, Sudan's instability complicates its international relations and efforts to attract aid. Role in the Arab world. Sudan has had varied relationships with Middle Eastern countries, influenced by political alignments and economic needs. Conclusion. Sudan is a country with vast cultural heritage and natural resources, but it faces significant challenges, including political instability, conflict, and economic hardship. The country's future is closely tied to its ability to navigate these issues, achieve political stability, and develop its economy to improve the welfare of its population.